It's a political power decision. It's based upon who is politically powerful enough to force their point of view. And in this case, it was Macmillan Bloedel, and to some extent, the loggers. But there are many other groups whose voice was not considered here. And that's why, and because there is no guarantee in British Columbia law that those voices will be heard, there's no requirement that the government respond to those kind of comments, that the government do a thorough economic analysis. The decision under the kind of criteria that you apply to assessing whether, a democratic decision, whether there's due process, the decision did not meet those criteria. Every government decision in the United States that is going to have a significant impact on the environment first must be subject to an environmental impact review. That's true in every state in the United States, and it's true for federal decisions as well. It's true in a lot of provinces in Canada. And in northern Quebec, there is now, no, and not in BC. I believe that the environmental review bill was defeated or was rejected by this government several weeks ago. So that you don't have a requirement for environmental review. You don't have a lot of the due process protections that that would assure a prudent and sound decision based on economic and environmental analysis that you have in other locales.
Prior to the announcement of the Clayoquot decision, the industry-based Forest Alliance of BC, which is essentially an advertising group that gets out the message of the major forest companies, put out a map of what the major forest companies would like to see happen in Clayoquot Sound. Several weeks later, when the government announced its Clayoquot Sound decision, the decision was almost indistinguishable between the government decision and what the industry wanted. And that's a matter of public record. You can see those two maps today. Essentially, industry got everything it wanted.
Came to this place, there was no one around but the whale and the bear. We put down roots and we learned from their land, and we knew it was the spirit's command. And we accepted the logging trade, it is part of the new world, they say. But the cutters move faster each day, and it dawns they are taking it all. They are planning on taking it all. So who are the stewards and who are the brave, trying to keep what is left to be saved? We didn't want it, didn't plan it this way, but it keeps moving closer each day. It's getting harder to find a place in this world unchanged. Well, there is always a give and take, but the fact is the balance has changed. And now the damage is clear, we stand in face of multinational guns. Never thought it would come to this, but the fact is we're all on the run. Yeah, the fact is we're all on the run. Where are the stewards? Where are the brave? Trying to keep what is left to be saved. We didn't want it, didn't plan it this way, but it keeps moving closer each day. It keeps moving closer each day. And now the time has come for us all to play our part. use our brains and our guts and our myth and our hearts. To this place there was no one around but the whale and the bear.
Now, someone said to me from the media, what right have you got to come up here and be a part of this protest? I said, we're not a part of this protest. We are a part of the simple part of population in the world who doesn't think that the national borders are so important and who have an acute and active concern about what goes on. Now, I think we all recognise the argument of what does somebody who doesn't live in the place got to have to offer for an issue in the place very carefully. This is the old South African argument. This is the old racist argument that if you actually hadn't been to South Africa, you couldn't decide that racism was wrong. Does this mean just because you haven't been down to Tofino, you can't make a decision and say that the clear cut of these Vancouver forests is wrong? It's wrong, it's wrong, and it's wrong, and you don't have to live here to know that. As these precious areas, these real areas of beauty, these real areas of biodiversity and richness, these real areas that haven't been impeded yet by that rush for money and dollars, as these areas shrink, the fight over them becomes more desperate and more difficult. I know that for a fact in Australia. And I must say, I still can't believe that the clear cut is on the extent that it is, or even that it happens at all. I can't believe that the forestry practices here are as primitive and as barbaric and as butcherous as they are. It is a shame. It's a great shame. And that has got to change. And the only way that changes is through people power. And people putting themselves on the line wherever they are, wherever they live. So once again, we are here to witness the protest. Everybody in Canada ought to be aware of the fact that the international community of people, particularly young people, considers what's happening out here to be a wrong and are prepared to do something about it.
I say time has come to say fair, to play the land, to pay our share. Time has come, the facts are fact, it belongs to man. Let's give it back. Thanks, First Nation.